And welcome to Fork Tongue Politics. Today we're going to talk about Hurricane Katrina, and we're going to talk about weather control. The idea of artificial weather modification is something that makes most Americans laugh, even though it is taken quite seriously by the Boston Globe in their article, "Don't like the weather? Change it." And it is also taken quite seriously by Scientific American magazine. Okay. Most folks have heard of cloud seeding, which uses silver iodide or other chemicals to cause rain to form. In civilian life, AWM is much more than cloud seeding these days. For example, Nissan uses a sound cannon to keep damaging hail away from its factories. Right there. And Paul McCartney, among other rock stars, uses AWM at his rock concerts to keep the rain away. It looks like it's really starting to catch on. They used AWM at the Glastonbury Festival to prevent mud baths, according to Anna Nova. Of course, this is big business, too, and a Russian company called Elite Intelligent Technologies Incorporated even advertised weather made to order. It was its corporate slogan and appeared on its business cards. And, of course, it's not just the Russians. The Americans, we have our own companies. Here's an example of one called Weather Modification, Inc., and it does the same thing as the Russian company. The Russian service is quite affordable. It's the Russian service will modify a 200 square mile area for $200 U.S. per day. TV weatherman Scott Stevens admits he sees artificial weather modification all the time in cloud formations. He'll see right angles and geometric patterns that are not natural. And of course, the Chinese are in on the act too. China rainmaking creates storm, according to the BBC. The U.S. government, of course, takes all of this AWM technology more seriously than anybody, and has even issued patents for weather control. NASA is now getting in on this, and the NASA Institute for Advanced Concepts is now funding weather modification technology. Here's a sample of some bills in the Senate and the House proving that they take this stuff very seriously. H.R. 2995, House Resources Bill, is to establish the Weather Modification Operations and Research Board. Okay. Senate Bill 517, a bill to establish weather modifications. And a couple of years ago, in the 107th Congress, Dennis Kucinich put together this bill, House Resources 2977, that we can see right here. And in the highlighted areas, we'll see that the bill clearly calls for such terms include its the whole thing is a bill to put regulations on all sorts of controversial weapons like space weaponry and that sort of thing. And also included in the bill are terms to regulate exotic weapons such as chemtrails, as I have highlighted here, and environmental, climate, or tectonic weapons. New Mexico, you can get a permit to apply for weather modification in Mexico. They're all about it there. But however, let's leave it to someone with the highest level of security clearance, like former Secretary of Defense William Cohen, to really put things into perspective for us, as he did Monday, April 28th, at a Department of Defense news briefing, where he stated, "Others are engaging in an eco-type of terrorism, whereby they can alter the climate, set off earthquakes, volcanoes remotely through the use of electromagnetic waves." Okay, we're going to explain what all these strange exotic weapons are in just a minute. But also, it is worth note also another big government and establishment type, Zbigniew Brzezinski, the co-founder of the Trilateral Commission, once said, "Technology will make available to the leaders of modern nations techniques for conducting secret warfare, of which only a bare minimum of security forces need be appraised. Technology of weather modification could be employed to produce prolonged periods of drought or storm." Now, of course, news of military use of conventional weather weapons, such as Russian pilots to make rain stay away at military parade, like this article here from ABC Online, but that's Australian Broadcasting Corporation, by the way. You hear about these stories a lot in countries that have freer presses than the United States, because the United States, as we have the ability, we have the freedom to have a free press. It's constitutional. Everybody knows that. But we don't actually have a free press. We have lost that. According to Arab News, the U.S. was tied with Barbados, Dominica, Estonia, Canada, and Latvia at 24th place out of 194 countries in terms of who's got the free presses. And of course, now with these exotic weather weapons, of course, to use, say, a nuclear or another sort of large explosion does not take a whole lot of imagination at all. They are far more exotic. But for example, here's an example of the New Zealand Herald talking about its tsunami bomb and its New Zealand's devastating war secret. It doesn't take a whole lot of imagination to see how something like this would be relatively easy to do with our nuclear bomb.